Hello, hello. It's Sonia here with Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company. I want to start by wishing you the very, very best day as you're listening to this. Today's episode, which is episode number 22, and I'm actually recording it on Monday, August the 24th, for a purpose. We're going to get to that. So I really want to wish everybody a fantastic day today. And as you're listening to this, be mindful, but just do with the information what you will, right? I really hope it resonates with you the way it resonates with me. This is today's episode, like usual, but today's going to be a little bit more bits and pieces of my life, summarizing where I'm at, what I'm doing, and some of the thoughts that ring true to me. And I'm sure you can all relate, especially as the mass majority listening to this are parents, our moms, our entrepreneurs, our single dads. It doesn't really matter, but hands up or nod your head or smile, because you know it doesn't matter. I can't see you. Do you sometimes feel like it's much too much? You know, you want the busy but balanced, but really it's much too much. You just don't know what you're doing and what's on your plate and how you did it all and how you created such abundance in terms of much. And I'm not saying this is all good or this is all bad. It's just much. You can't even categorize it. That's me right now, reevaluating a few priorities in my life. And that's what this weekend was all about. You know, one of my priority shifts that I'm going to be doing is making my weekday my work time, stepping away from the weekends and trying to do even less during the week to be more efficient so I can be there more for this family that I love so much. And it's not just the family, it's me too. But having a family is important to me. It's exactly what I've always wanted. And it's what I have. And I have a wonderful partner. I have wonderful children. We have a grandchild. And we have blended family with 5 kids, and his oldest son is about an hour away from here, an hour and a half. So sometimes, you know, there's unexpected visits or unexpected road trips. Not often. They're very self-sufficient, but it doesn't mean we don't want to see them, right? Of course we want to be with them and hang out with them and get to know them a little bit as an adult. But this weekend felt like Tetris going into the weekend. We spent most of the week trying to figure things out, how we were going to handle things. And I know this is short-lived. I know the kids grow up. I was an empty nester about 4 years ago as my 2 older kids had moved out, were living their life on their own, adventurous souls, so they had moved away. And I was in my early 40s. I considered myself a borderline empty nester in my early 40s because I still had my youngest daughter living at home. But between my personal training schedule and at that time and her work schedule with her school schedule with her play practice, we literally never saw each other. We were like ships crossing paths on the sea overnight. Like we never saw each other. And we didn't have dinners. So I longed for the family atmosphere that I had once had when the kids were little. And I had gone through all of the struggles of empty nester, and I don't want to say the loneliness because I was pretty good at keeping myself busy, but knowing my life was worth sharing and that somebody would be really lucky at the right time to be sharing parts of their life with me. I willed for that. I wanted that. My life was full. My life is still very full, but everything I've ever wanted, I have, right? And how many of you are in the exact same boat? How many of you are in a position where everything that truly matters, all of your priorities in life, you have? Of course you want more, and I'm not saying you don't want more. We should always want a little bit more. We should be wanting to achieve and to up-level our lives, always, in some way or another, whether that's being better with our finances, whether that's being a healthier body, whether that's spending a little bit more time for ourselves. We always want to up-level and elevate our lives. But definitely, have you created the life that you're looking for? And if you haven't, we can talk about that. That's a separate conversation. But I have. I have a beautiful family. I have a loving partner. And I have manifested and worked hard for the life I have. But one of the things I had said to myself, and this is where this weekend has come into play quite a bit. One of the things I had said to myself is when I'm in a healthy relationship with somebody I love and trust, I won't need to work as much because I'll be wanting to spend time with that person. And I haven't done that. Yes, we have our date nights every night, and yes, we both have individual things that we want to do, and we're two individuals that have come together, which is working well for us. We spend a lot of our time together, but we also spend our time doing what we need to do and what we want to do. But we get to come home and share that experience together. But what I'm saying is I'm working too much. End of the day, I'm working too much. I'm doing too much, and I'm not doing enough of the right things. Who's with me? Through COVID, when this whole experience happened and people were staying home with their partners and their families and learning what the real priorities were in life, how many of you are leaning into that still, or have you gone back to the rat race? Have you gone back to the rat race because you don't have a choice? Or are there other things that you can do? I've been speaking with many clients lately, and they've shared that this has been a blessing. And it's been a blessing for me too in so many different ways where I am at home more, but I'm still working more. So I'm not doing some of the things I absolutely love to do. And there's no reason why I can't. Yes, I do carry a lot on my plate. I do like to be busy, but I like to be busy but balanced. I like a healthy blend in my life. So rearranging everything this weekend to spend time for family was perfect. Yes, I got a little bit of work in, a fraction, maybe 4 hours of work in over the whole weekend. I didn't do everything I wanted to do, but that's totally okay. If people can't appreciate that a life coach needs balance, they're speaking to the wrong coach, because I want to practice what I preach. I want to be sharing my best life with each and every single one of you. And yep, sometimes that's road trips back and forth, and sometimes that's finally a campfire in August for the first time all summer, because we've been too tired to appreciate it earlier in the year. Sometimes just coming together and sitting and being, or being in the car and singing and laughing and sharing stories and reconnecting. And that's what it's all about. And it was those moments for me that made me stop and realize I'm not doing enough of the things that I really, really love. So for instance, Monday to Thursday, you've heard me say this, I cram my schedule a little bit tight so I can have the freedom on the weekends. But I wasn't really taking as much time and freedom on the weekends. I was still focused about work and family, but not to the extent that I wanted to be. So I miss cooking dinners. Tony's been picking up the slack in cooking dinners because of my work schedule. Not my day job schedule, but my actual work schedule, my priorities and my commitments. But I miss cooking dinner. One of the things I want to do differently this week, and as a surprise, I'm sure he won't hear this first, but is to actually cook dinner more. Yes, it might mean earlier in the day so it's ready so I can still accommodate. But I like being creative in the kitchen. It's fun. It's fun without a timeline for me. When I have to rush to get dinner on the table for a certain time, I don't appreciate that as much as being able to linger with my thoughts, think about a meal that I want to make with for the family, and create it. I love that. I haven't done that in a long time because everything's been busy. And as much as I like busy, I'm not enjoying it 100%. I would rather have my priorities in check like they happened this weekend. So how about you? What are some of the things that you want to do differently? I know I'm going to be changing my morning routine up. I know I'm going to be thinking a little bit more about meals that I want to prepare or at least have ready. At the very least, we can share the load on that. Now, there's a reason he's been helping me. It's because, or we've been helping each other. And that's what I'm saying by having a loving and supportive partner. Because my schedule changed, so he just picked it up and started cooking. He could wait for me to cook, as many partners would do. They would wait for the other person to cook, or they would step up and offer to help and be part of a team. I personally feel like he's carrying more of the load right now, and I don't want that feeling. That's not what I'm hoping on right now. Work in my business career and my method of employment, my side hustles, any of those things, they are not my priority in life. They are my priority when I am on the clock, if you would. but not outside of that. Listen, my friends, I checked my phone. I've not gone through any of my notifications at all this weekend. I did a couple posts and that's it. I didn't do my live on Sunday and I won't be doing my lives on the weekends anymore. Maybe one of the 2 days I didn't send a newsletter. The priority was my family. The priority will forever be my family moving forward, because these are moments together that we get to cherish. And if there's free time, I will circle back to some of the other things I love to do. But I didn't love anything as much as I loved just hanging out with my family this weekend, to be perfectly honest. And it really didn't matter what it looked like. It just worked. It really, really worked. So we had, what did this weekend consist of? Just so you can have an idea. I had some coaching clients on Saturday morning, which was already prearranged. I had to shuffle that a little bit and move one to Sunday, which I normally don't do at all. Sundays are normally just a family day. Saturday morning, we were quick to leave to bring my youngest to IKEA, which is an hour and a half away, to stand in line to go in to do some shopping. But of course, I didn't want to touch anything. And I was worried a little bit with all of the people there, but she needed a few things for university. So we made the trip. We went there. We came back in time to take everybody out for dinner because we had all of his family in town. So his oldest son, his girlfriend, the youngest son who hadn't seen his brother. And we took all of us out to a dinner. We had reservations. We went there. We came back on Saturday and we had a campfire. Literally, we had enough time between the drive time to change in between the two. The company showed up late Friday night at 11 o'clock at night. We were supposed to have friends over for our first ever games night, second games night on Saturday night, but it's a good thing we did cancel that. We just didn't think we could fit it all in. And we canceled that. We postponed it for a month down the road. And then on Sunday, we made up a great big brunch for everybody. I had the coaching call. Then we had things like groceries to get done. And I went to go see my grandson and my daughter for a couple of hours. We went and brought the older kids back home, which was an hour and a half drive each way. And thankfully, I took about half an hour to get dinner together on the crock pot. And so we came home to a nice spaghetti squash dinner, which was lovely. Ready, pre-made, ready to go. And Tony had went and done groceries when I was with Megan and Hudson. Now, as you're listening to this, imagine we also squeezed in somehow throughout this time house cleaning. Not a thorough job, but a touch-up job. Laundry, all of the laundry for the week got done. Grocery shopping and meal prep got done. Right? So no wonder nothing else got done. This was a very busy weekend, and it's a little bit outside the norm, which is fine, which is why I love doing what I do, right? But sometimes there are pockets of time that need to be prioritized, and this was one of them. And how often are you prioritizing what really matters in your life? Think about that. If you're trying to lose weight, are you actually taking the time to meal plan, to eat healthy foods, to have them chopped and ready to go in the fridge, like eggs boiled or raw veggies in a container that you can grab and go? Or are you having all of the fixings that you need to make a healthy smoothie in the morning or for a mid-afternoon snack? Or, since this is a major caveat, if you are a nighttime snacker, and a lot of people are, what do you have for a healthy snack for then? Right? Last couple nights we've had raspberries with one small chocolate square, and that's been a great nighttime snack with the tea. Of course, there were s'mores on Saturday night, but I had one s'more, and I was very happy with that decision. And on the road trip, you're going to laugh, but I was actually snacking on yellow beans on the road trip, both ways, because they are crunchy, they are hand to mouth, which is what I like sometimes, like the munchies. And I really love yellow beans and green beans. But you can't do anything about your priorities in life until you take a step back and realize what's really important and what you're working on. And that's exactly what happened to me this weekend. So moving forward, my podcast will be done on Monday morning. I will be having fewer and fewer meetings on the weekend because my family deserves me and I deserve them. And if I want to sit back and read a book or take the dogs or clean the house, Those are priorities because I have dogs and I have a house and I have a beautiful family to just hang out with. And it's not all about the things that need to be done. It's all about the memories that need to be made. Think about that. It's not all about the things that need to be done. It's about the memories that need to be made. I have no problem blending personal with pleasure. So if you're a client and we go golfing, great. That's a little bit of the blend of both worlds for me. Hanging time with my parents. Hanging time, you like that? Hanging out and time with my parents matters to me. That's exactly the reason why I moved back to this small town where I was born and raised, is because my parents are still well and healthy, and I wanted to enjoy some time with them. And I'm not spending as much time with them as I would like. Yes, we're a close family, and we see each other at least every other week. But I'd spent 20 years away, and I do enjoy their company. And sometimes they're much, sometimes we're all much. But just like my kids, I shouldn't have to book time to spend time with my kids. Sometimes we need to step away to really truly evaluate our priorities, and we will be a better person for it. So I used weight loss as an example, but what if finances are your key and you're spending so much time out and about, eating Tim Hortons, grabbing coffees, grabbing lunch and dinner because you're not being prepared? How is that serving you with your big picture goals? Right? And if you're trying to lose weight again, you don't need to exercise all the time. You do need rest days. You do need to slow down. But we all know that health is found in the kitchen by eating healthy foods that fill you up. Take more time to meal plan. Be creative. Have friends over or have your kids over. Do some meal prepping together. Make that together time. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing more of. I know my oldest daughter, the one that just had a baby, Megan, she made a hash brown casserole this weekend and loved it. And I know she's been talking to me about, we wanted to make some soup. So I know she'd be interested in coming by and spending a day cooking and meal prepping and getting some food ready in the freezer. We would love that time together, even if it's a couple of hours in a block of time. But now you're preparing for the week ahead. My middle daughter, Renee, one day, we went grocery shopping. This was pre-COVID. We went grocery shopping together, and she loved every minute of it. First of all, she didn't know a lot of the foods that we bought and why we bought them, so it was a teaching opportunity. But then we talked about meal planning and meal prepping while we were at the grocery store. So she wants to do more of that with me, and I would love to do more of that with her because it helps her with her life, but it's time together. And that's what I'd like you to think about. How can you blend what needs to be done with who you want to do it with? Friends, your partner, your kids, and they can be different ages and different stages. Your parents, extended family that you just want to spend time with. Do you have an aunt that likes to knit, and do you want to learn how to knit? Like my youngest daughter, she horseback rides, and I haven't been. She's an equestrian, and I haven't been in. I've seen her horse, but I haven't been up and close and personal with it because I've been busy working. What kind of standard is that setting? I will be shifting my priorities. It takes a little bit to make the shift, obviously, and I've learned that about myself. My intentions and my shifts can't happen overnight. There needs to be a segue, and when there's a segue, it works. I do slow changes over time, and those changes stick. That's healthy habits. But where else can you maximize having a full life, feeling balanced, and not feeling in the category of everything being much too much? You don't want that feeling anymore. You're busy enough. You carry enough physical, emotional, extended weight on your shoulders enough already. So step back and reanalyze some areas of your life that truly matter to you. And if it means making your weekend, if it means carving some nights out where it's just you and your partner, or it's just you, it's not just about healthy habits along the way. It's not these big milestones about journaling that we've talked about in earlier episodes, or the gratitude or the affirmations. These all still take part in your day-to-day. But what are you working towards? What is that feeling that you are working towards. I don't want that hurried and rushed feeling. I want that relaxed and easygoing feeling. That's exactly what I'm going for. Yes, I work hard. Yes, I play hard. I like that blend. I really, really do. And what does it look like for you? Maybe it's a little bit more of a relaxed attitude. Maybe you want to step it up a little bit. But I'm sure the majority of you listening to this are feeling the much too much. You need to shift in priorities and you don't know where to start. My friends, reach out to me. You know I do newsletters regularly for inspiration. I offer a daily dose of inspiration. I do a lot of coaching on this, but more importantly, I'm living by example. When you self-assess your life, when you can see where you're at and if it's in the direction where you want to be going, you can make those changes as if you're using a roadmap and you have a destination. But when you have no idea and things just don't feel right and you're a little bit out of alignment, it's time to make those shifts. I don't want to be saying no to my family, or I can't, I'm too busy, or I have a client. In that case, I'm going to prioritize my life a little bit differently. Because, the fact that I was a borderline empty nester 4 years ago, and I know that my youngest daughter is in her second year of university this year, and she's got 2 or 3 more to go. She's barely home. She's home for the summer. She'll be back home a couple times throughout the year, right? And then we have one more son in the house. But as soon as he goes off, then what? Are we going to be lucky enough to be able to spend our weekends hanging out with all of the kids and going to see them? Do they want us in our life at that point? And I don't mean will they like us. I mean, will their priorities be their family and their work and their hustle and their bustle and their friends? Or can we change their path? Can we change their mindset by making certain things a priority? And that's exactly what it's about. Living your best life right now, today, and helping other people live their best lives. And know that that's going to change as you ebb and flow through life. I'm not going to keep you long on this episode, but know that I am here through so many different modalities to help you up-level and elevate your life. And sometimes that's slowing down and taking a look at the big picture. For me, that's exactly what it is. More time for what really matters. And yes, it's family for me, and it's my schedule that I'm going to work on. And I know there's a few more things, but I'm a very happy, relaxed, easygoing person. So for me to have noticed that I am having a little bit of stress in some areas, or that I wasn't doing the things that really up-level my life even more. Like, I really, really love cooking and baking and being creative in the kitchen. I don't like doing it on a timeline whatsoever. Right? I don't like working day and night. So what can I do to make that better, to make that more efficient, to make that different? But I have financial goals, and I have personal goals, and I have business goals. So what do? You take a step back. You pause. You do a brain dump. You write it all down. Because at the end of the day, what matters to you? I created this life. I wanted this life, and I didn't stop and think to change my life now that I have this life. Right? Let me say that to you again. I manifested this life. I created this life. I wanted this life. I didn't stop and think about changing my old life to adapt to my new life. We're all changing. We are all different now than we were 6 months ago. We're completely different from 6 months ago than we were from 2 years ago or from 4 years ago. Some of us are still working. Some of us are working from home. Some of us are dealing with so many variables right now. But we can tackle them, and we will get through them one at a time or bit by bit. But not if we're beating ourselves up, not if we think that we're not good enough, not if we're carrying too much on our plate. We need to slow down. Take this as an opportunity to evaluate where you're at, what you really want in life. And if there's time, have a checklist of things that you can do when there's time. I already thought of that this weekend. You know what? When there's free time, I'm going to have no problem baking a batch of muffins. Because I know my family loves those muffins that I make. Oh, they're delicious. Oh, they're brand chocolate chip muffins, and I have to tell them to eat only 2. Remind them, no more than 2, because you heat them up in the microwave for like 30 seconds and the chocolate chips melt, and it's like, This morning, I've made this amazing shake because I took the time to put it together, and it's like, it tastes like an oatmeal muffin. So it's blueberries and banana, and I put spinach in it, and almond milk, cinnamon, and a quarter cup of oatmeal. And it tastes amazing. Amazing. Now, I probably should add some protein powder next time. But by taking a few minutes to be creative, I'm getting what? 1 cup of vegetables at least, maybe 1.5, because I used a handful of spinach, and a handful I normally use for a cup when it comes to vegetables, plus a cup of blueberries, plus a banana. That's awesome, right? Fruits and vegetables, that's awesome. Plus the energy I'm going to feel from this because the vitamin K from the spinach. It took a few seconds. But prior to that, I was able to come up with the recipe. I was able to put it all together. This is going to make me feel good. And how many people just grab toast or grab and go? Slow down, my friends. That's what journaling and affirmations and gratitude and stepping outside into nature is all about. That's what reassessing your life is all about. And it can be done weekly. It can be done during an aha moment. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying slow down to the point where you watch TV all the time. Right? I'm saying slow down to the point, if that's not your thing. Okay, my point is, I'm not saying slow down to do nothing. I'm saying slow down enough to understand what it is that you want to do and where your priorities fall and what you want to do different so your priorities are a focus. And we all have different stages, and family might not be a priority for everybody. Finances might not be a priority. Weight loss might not be a priority. But feeling much too much certainly is not a priority for anybody anymore. It's not serving you. How is it serving you? It hasn't been serving me because when you do that, you hold on to stress. When you hold on to stress, you hold on to weight. And in my case, I already have 2 bad ankles, so I'm not able to just go for a run and release that stress, right? And really keep that excess weight off. So much too much doesn't serve anybody at all. So stop, slow down, smell the roses, crank that music up, listen to the lyrics. There's your weekly challenge. Pick a song and listen to the lyrics. Do you know most of the lyrics to the song? Do you actually listen to the song to the point that you're in the moment, that you know the lyrics? I don't care what song it is. And yeah, I'm sure some of you are going to be like, yeah, here's an old song. I don't care. Listen to the lyrics. Read the lyrics. Google the lyrics of your favorite song. Stop for 30 seconds. Google the lyrics of your favorite song and be in that moment. How does that make you feel? Okay, as I promised, I won't keep you. It's a little bit less than half an hour. It's about 27 minutes. I do a lot of coaching in this area. I am offering group coaching. I'm here to help you. Just reach out. You can go to freshapproachfitness.ca or asksonia.ca to get my contact information. My email is sonya@freshapproachfitness.ca. That's SONYA. And know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I will get back to you. It might not be tomorrow, but I promise I will get back to you. I'm actually bringing on a team now with Fresh Approach Fitness so we can help build this company even more. So it's super exciting. They will be taking over some of my other priorities so I can have time to do what matters to me. I wish you all a fantastic week, and moving forward, I will be back next Monday morning. Have yourself a great week, everybody.